wish we could play all night long, but we only got time for one more song. All right! I couldn't stop moving when it first to go. I want to spring night at the old town hall. The jokers, they were laying it down. You're never gonna lose that funky sound. Rock and roll, hoochie koo. Lordy mama, like my views. Rock and roll, hoochie koo. Chuck on out and spread the news. Yeah. Skeezers started busting about this time of year. Going round back, said she'd meet me there. We're rolling in the gas goes behind the barn. And I started ringing like a fire alarm. Rock and roll, hoochie koo. Lordy mama, light my views. Jump on out and spread the news. Yeah. Does somebody say, keep on rocking? Woo-hoo! About. Maybe go that thing really knocks me out. Getting high all the time, hope you all are too. Come on, little closer, gonna do it to you. Rock and roll, hoochie koo. Lordy mama, light my views. Rock and roll, hoochie koo. Gone out and spread the news. One more time! Rock and roll, hoochie koo. Lordy mama, light my views. Rock and roll, hoochie koo. Jump on out and spread the news. Now I'm tired of paying dues. Gonna say goodbye to all my blues. Lordy mama. Lordy mama. light my fuse. Keep on rocking!
Hi, I'm Dave O'Neill, and this is the Blues Played Special. You've just been watching Rick Derringer here at Cheney Hall. Great set, Rick. Thanks for coming on the show.
Oh, it was great. Thank you.
So who'd you have with you tonight?
Tonight, we had our new member, formerly from the Greg Allman Band. He played on the famous I'm No Angels single, and played with him for about 10 years. And lately he also does gigs with Firehouse, but we're real proud to have him with us. Bruce Wabel is his name, on bass guitar. And our drummer, who's been with me for about 8 or 9 years nowadays, Tom Curiel.
He's a wild man.
A wild man!
The crowd was going wild tonight, too. They loved it.
Yeah, well, we enjoy that.
Yeah.
That's always fun.
So you know what I want to ask is, well, what's with the artwork here on the hand? How long do we have that?
I've had that since about 1990. Showbiz!
Showbiz.
It's all about showbiz.
I have none.
They looked down at that hand and I said, look at that, we're going to put something on that hand.
Looks like fire.
I should have done like an advertisement or something that I might have got paid a lot of money.
Why don't we start with talking about Aiming for Heaven?
Sure. Aiming for Heaven is the first all-Christian album I've done. And also what made it a little different was I got to write all the songs with, except for one, I wrote them all with Brenda, my wife. And she performs with me on it. She sings on one of them. You hear her real good on Celestial Love. And both kids, Lori and Martin, are on there as well.
Family.
You get to hear them. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's a little humorous, but it came out great. The album came out great. It was a lot of fun to do. We hope everybody likes it as much as we enjoyed making it.
When did you start the inspiration for doing the album?
Well, I went back to refound my faith, my Christianity, in about '98. And it was about that time I just started writing more music with Christian lyrics. And I also started looking and realized that a lot of my songs had a very kind of positive moral approach anyway. And then that inspired us to take some of the older songs and rewrite them with a more Christian approach. So it's been about 3 or 4 years now that we've been thinking along those lines. And most of my songs are either a real Christian direction or a lyric that can go either way.
Now, I noticed some of the old pictures. You've always had a cross.
Yeah.
Now, were you religious back then, or was that style, or was that just your...
Both. I grew up as a Catholic, and I never really thought too much about it. It wasn't a conscious move on my part to go away from Catholicism, but... as we became busier and busier and busier on the road and playing and traveling and doing concerts, we just stopped going to church. But for some reason, I guess the crosses became the style. And I really, it's funny because I don't think, I go back and think about it and I go, it wasn't a decision I made that I went, well, I'm going to stick with the crosses because of the Christian meaning. So it's really weird. I don't know exactly, but as I look back on it, I go, well, I'm glad that was my style, because it certainly is an inspiration for a lot of other people.
Yeah, maybe it was faith and faith.
Yeah, both.
So speaking of the old days, you've played with a ton of players. The Winter Brothers, and you started out with the McCoys, or was there something before the McCoys?
Well, the first band was the McCoys, and it was the same guys, but we changed our name a couple times before Hang On Sloopy came out. We became Rick and the Raiders for a while, and then Rick Z Combo for a while. And then when Hang On Sloopy came out, we changed back to our original name, which was the McCoys. And after the McCoys, we went into Johnny Winter and became Johnny Winter and, because they didn't want to say Johnny Winter and the McCoys. So we just dropped the McCoys and made it Johnny Winter and. And then from that into White Trash. I played with Edgar Winter's White Trash for a while. And then with the Edgar Winter group featuring Rick Derringer. And my own band, Derringer, followed that. And then on into a solo career that's lasted until now.
Yeah, I saw you played on a lot of other folks' albums too. Barbra Streisand in there.
Yeah.
Played Weird Al Yankovic?
Yeah, I produced Weird Al. I pretty much discovered Weird Al. He came to us with the idea to do a single of one of my manager's songs, I Love Rock and Roll. It was managed by one of the writers of that song in those days. And Al wanted to do a single called I Love Rocky Road.
I remember it.
And we said, he shouldn't have a single out, he should be making a whole album. So I went ahead and produced the album without a record company. And when we were finished, took it over to the Scotti Brothers, and they said, we want that record. So the rest is history. I did 5 albums with him and won 2 Grammys, one for the best comedy album one year, and one for the best video one year.
And I believe he has a Connecticut connection as well, too. Isn't he from Connecticut now?
You know, I don't know. He lived in California all during those years,
Yeah.
and I know he still lives out there at least part of the time. I don't know. I think maybe when his bass player, Steve J, might have some relations here in Connecticut or something like that.
Yeah. And you've got some connection with Tom Guerra, I believe, from the Mambo Sons.
Yeah, Tom Guerra has become a good friend over the years. I played with one of his CDs, and he's written some nice words about us, certainly in the past, and he's a good friend.
Yeah. And I think Jeff Pitchell, you played with him as well, too.
Jeff Pitchell, that's right. We did a little duet of one of my songs called The Unsung Hero of the Blues. And Jeff did a great version of that, so we both traded back and forth on the vocals and on the guitars. And I enjoyed that one a lot.
Yeah.
He's great.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. So, in addition to music, you played on a ton of movies as well. Didn't you write the tune "Why Do Good Girls Like Bad Boys" and "Bachelor Party" that Tom Hanks claimed to fame?
I didn't write it. I produced that one. I did about 4 songs in that movie, and there were a few. I was doing a few movies around that time period. I did "Where the Boys Are Too," and then that one, "Bachelor Party." And there was another one called, was it Zoom? I can't even think the name of it now.
Zapped.
Zapped. There you go. See, you know them all. Zapped. I did some music in Zapped, and then one of Bette Midler's movies. I can't remember the name of
A
that
ton
one.
of them, though.
Yeah, this was the one. Was it Wings? Was it Beaches?
Beaches. That's
Beaches.
right.
Yeah, she
With the
did.
wind beneath my wings.
Yeah, and she did Rock Roll Hoochie Koo in Beaches.
Okay. Okay, I remember that movie.
Yeah,
Man, there's a ton of them.
yeah.
Get around.
There were a couple others in there too, but it's hard to remember them all.
Yeah. So, were you playing this one tonight? I didn't get a chance to look at all
I
the
didn't get to
brushes
play it.
yet.
I had this up there in case I broke a string, but everything worked on the other guitar, and I didn't break any strings, so this one didn't get played.
So, how many guitars do you have?
Right now I have probably about, not that many, about 7 or 8 guitars probably total. But I use most of them. You know, if I don't use them, I don't keep them, is my new motto. I used to kind of have a collection, and
Put them under the bed. And
I had a ton of guitars, and some of them became really worth a lot of money. The guitar that I played on the cover of All American Boy is owned by a music store in Chicago, and they just had it on an auction, offered for $80,000. One of the guitars I played, a Gibson Explorer, 1958 Gibson Explorer, was purchased from me by a guy, Chernoff, I believe his name is, Mr. Chernoff, and he's a famous guitar collector in New Jersey, and he has that guitar appraised at $150,000 right now. So
it's a house.
yeah, so we got a few of my collectible guitars on the website right now advertised, and I guess the word is that my guitars become worth a lot of money. So if anybody wants a guitar, check out the rickderringer.com.
And actually, I think I stumbled onto it. I went out to Google and put through your name in, and that came up on there. So
Yeah, it says Rick Derringer's Collectibles. If you punch on that, it takes you to the site where I have them now.
what do you normally prefer to play?
I love that Paul Reed Smith guitar lately. But the BC Rich guitars are really nice handmade instruments. They've made guitars for me for about almost 20 years now. Fenders are still great guitars. But lately, my guitar of choice, actually, I have a D'Angelico that I play on my. I'm working on a smooth jazz record now, and I play a D'Angelico New Yorker on that one. And there's a Dean guitar, a Dean jazz guitar that I play nowadays. But my guitar of choice is this Paul Reed Smith.
Okay. Now you string them pretty heavy, as I recall.
I string them pretty heavy, not outrageous or anything. They're 11 on the top, and they go down to 52 on the bottom, which is a little heavier than most people, but. Sound good.
Yeah, they sound really good. Now, what do you run it through?
Tonight we were using Fender amps. We had some Hot Rod DeVilles, but I also play through PVs occasionally. I like Soldano amps a lot. And there's one called Vanouche amp, which is made up in the Seattle, Vancouver area. And I really like those a lot.
Wow. So now, are you striving for a different sound with the jazz album?
Yeah, I'm going to be doing a smooth jazz record and some surprises on there. The first song we did was a smooth jazz version of Rock Roll Hoochie Koo, an instrumental, very hip. It's very cool. I think people will be surprised a lot. And then I can't give out the other set list, or other people will go out and do them. They'll hear about it and they'll go out and do them before they come out, because there's going to be some surprises there. Some new songs, but some old ones that I think people will be surprised about.
When's it coming out?
We're starting the project within the next few weeks. I just completed the contracts last week. So.
What label?
A brand new label, Big 3 Records.
Big
3 Records, and they're a great label.
Yeah. Check out their website as well, too.
Yeah, Big 3 Records, brand new.
Cool. Okay, my big question is, Hang On Sloopy.
Yeah.
What does it mean?
I don't know. I sang it, and I didn't write it. What we were instrumental in doing was changing the title. The original title was My Girl Sloopy. It was a #1 song by the Vibrations, and when we did our version, the first thing we said was, it doesn't say My Girl Sloopy, it says Hang On Sloopy, so we should change the title. And that's what happened, and I hope that has some little bit in making it a big, huge hit that it was. But at any rate, I'm not sure what they told me it's a colloquialism, it's a nickname for Cuban girls. A lot of Cuban girls had the nickname.
Really?
And it's kind of a Spanish influence tune, and the guy that wrote it said he lived in Cuba for a while, and he said that's where he got the name. It was Cuban girls.
I was always curious about it. Well, I won't take up any more of your time. Thanks for being on the show. So
Thank
how
you.
cool was that? Don't go anywhere. We're not done yet. We got a few more tunes from Rick coming up. Hope you enjoyed Rick Derringer's first set. And here he comes again. Tune in.